You know, like what sucks is that like there's so many good people in this world that like get fucked over so many times that they then become jaded, right? And they become cold and they become heartless. And then you classify them as bad people, but they're not bad people. They're really good people that have just been fucked over and jaded by the world, bro.
Life on EJ. Life on EJ. Yeah, yeah.
Good question. I don't know. Maybe beige,
Light tan.
light tan.
I
Yeah.
want to get a Pitbull light tan. There's an album I used to listen to all the time called Grand Champ, DMX's album. Before I got into the Pitbulls, and the dog on that album is fucking beautiful. It's like this light tan color, but awesome body shape, too. I stare at the dogs now and look at like which kind do I like. They compete,
Sure,
you know.
sure. Who's the alpha?
Yeah. But it's like a hot chick. It's like, congratulations on your look. They breed them. Like, you breed this one with this one. What do you think about, like, having kids?
For me,
Yeah, like, you breed, right? You pick a partner. You have a kid together, and then you get to mold the kid. I'm going through a lot when it comes to having an influence on how my kid grows up. And, you know, I'll talk about it in a minute. But you ever think about the idea of a child and
So-
being able to help raise them?
I have. I mean, obviously, everybody has thought about it, right? Like, that's a normal thought to have. Like, do I want kids? Do I not want kids? How would I be as a father? I think that. Part of me thinking about kids, I like to think about it in like the smartest ways that I possibly can, where it's like, yo, I've spent so much time like not being able to take care of myself properly that like if I brought a kid into the world with my unpredictability, like it's not fair to bring a child into this world.
How long do you say that for, though? How long do you define yourself as a guy that is unpredictable before you say, you know what, I think I am ready?
So I don't know. I don't know if there's a set amount of time where like you have to be stable where then you can say like I am a stable and consistent member of society. Like I don't know if there's a set amount of time in that. But I think for me it's like I have accumulated some years where I was able to stay stable and consistent. And yet still fell off. You know what I mean? Where like in that time I was in a serious relationship and the conversation of kids came up and I felt as though I was ready at that time. But looking at it now, if I had brought a kid into this world at that time, like that kid was in for a hell of a ride. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, who's to say that maybe me having a child wouldn't have kept me from doing those things?
1 degree change in your life changed a whole different course.
I mean, I know for me, like being the alcoholic that I am, like the most important people in my life couldn't stop me from doing what I was
Yeah,
doing.
you probably didn't have the awareness of your issues yet, or the coping, right? Better coping. Like when things are quiet, like I came to your house the other day and you were just hanging.
Yeah.
And that's when my thoughts go the most, when I'm just hanging. And when we get to diagnose our own problems in our head and then come up with better coping because it really matters to us. You probably didn't have the coping then, and so the kid more than likely would have just stressed you out further, and then a guy with bad coping, it would have spiraled you out just the same.
For a lot of people, kids is like this like dire need. Like they want children so bad. I don't have that. You know what I mean? Because a lot of so I think very deeply into it. Where like I know that there's so many things that come with having a child other than just having a child, right? It's like the partner that you have that child with, like, yo, you're bound to them for a long period of time, whether you're with them or not. Like you're still bound to them. Like you have a child together, you have a human being together, and you have to be able to work that. And I think that where I'm at in my life, like I still have serious like trust issues and stuff like that where I don't know that there's a single soul that I trust enough to have a child with. You know what I mean? Because you could really hurt somebody like that. Like
Yeah.
imagine having a child and like the person that you had the child with isn't wired correctly and they try to keep your child from you
Yep.
or use your child against you. Or,
Resentful, vindictive, bitter, jealous, any of the evils, right? Any of those, and they pull that card.
that stuff scares me.
That's why relationships, I would spend so many years in my when I was younger, with somebody because I'm getting to know them, and I didn't really have a process of getting to know somebody. You just take it as it comes, and I'm always weighing that up against, is this somebody that I would want to be with? But I didn't have these like heuristics, this decision-making process put together on how to decide until you get a little bit older, and then you start to know how to go about making your choice. But I was very critical about who am I going to be with? What would this look like many years out? Because one thing my father taught me, or I just learned by watching him, was like how important it is the person you pick, because it'll fucking spiral you. I know we have personal friends, man, that they're girls. Just anybody in general, their relationship will just drive them mad.
Yeah.
Because of the unhealthy things.
I've been in those situations. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I know what that feels like.
Me too.
And also like I can't sit here and act like I was in those situations because of the person that I was with. You know what I mean? Like a big part of it was me. I played a huge role in that.
Yo, dude, me too. I pull it out of them.
Yeah, me
They're
too.
great. Every woman I've ever been with, I'll say, beautiful person. Truthfully, I think I attract that because I think deep down I'm a beautiful person. But if I am, let's say, not right where I'm supposed to be as far as commitment, and that's what they want, but I'm staying in something when I shouldn't, like I've been there before, staying in something when I shouldn't. And there's you don't want the same things. You bring the ugly out in the other person, and it sucks.
That's a bad place to be. Like when you're in a situation and like you're fully aware that like this situation is no good for me and I stay in it anyway, knowing that like nothing but bad things is going to come out of this and I still choose to stay in it.
Who gets hurt? What about when we stay in things that hurt us the most? Nothing
Yeah.
good is going to come out of this. I'm going to stay in it because we're sick like that. Because that's what we do, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to stay in it. Where it started to really eat at me is when I was hurting other people. And it was like a very direct hurting of other people that I care about.
Yeah.
That shit would weigh on me and make me feel like I was going to have a heart attack. I think it's because I'm a good guy that made me want to change.
I was in that situation where like I was hurting somebody so bad. I was hurting two people at the same time. You know what I mean? I was hurting three people because I was hurting myself. But I was in a situation where like I was wrapped up in almost like this love triangle. You know what I mean? Where it's like two women who both loved me and I loved both of them and I didn't want to hurt either one of them, but I was hurting both of them at the same time, and it was like this clusterfuck.
By not deciding what you want.
Yeah, and I couldn't make that decision.
And we're the weak ones.
Yeah.
Because the women are like, yo, fucking pick, dude. Like, pick what you want. At least the girl had the dignity and the character to say, I know what I want and it's you. And then there's us sitting there who just like can't decide what we want. That's how I looked at it. It made me feel like a sucker.
I think I was in such a bad place mentally where like I fed off of like the power that I had over two women. You know what I mean? Like
That's honest.
It's disgusting. You know what I mean? But I fed off that. Like I have the power to do whatever I want in this situation, and almost like what I say goes. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I can make you jump at the snap of a finger.
I think the definition, dude, of recovery is like what you're saying right now, like what you're bringing to the table, saying this is what's true for me, and being able to say that out loud, and then not only that, but also saying like it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Like that's growth. That's being in recovery versus living, and the ignorance is bliss. A lot of people don't realize they're like that. That's the scariest thing of all. You don't even realize how fucking sick you are, man, and what you're doing to people, playing off leverage you have on them or power games and.
Yeah. I was just having a conversation about this last night with one of the guys at my house. We were leaving a meeting, and he was asking me about, because he's newly sober, so he's asking me about like, have I ever been in a situation where like, you're newly sober and you start to get attention and like you want to act on that attention. Now, the difference between me and him is he has a girl, so he feels guilty about even having the thought of acting on it. You know what I mean? So he's trying to get me to like talk him out of it. And I said to him, I was like, look, part of part of being in recovery is like practice these principles in all of my affairs, right? And
Hmm.
you don't do something to that girl that you wouldn't want her to do to you. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I'm single, so I can really do whatever I want to do. And I told him, I was like, look, like I get attention. You know what I mean? And I could take it down that road in a couple of different directions. But like what I know to be true is like I don't have what it takes to give a girl everything that she's looking for. So I won't even give false hope and begin to take it down that road and make her think that she's about to get something that I'm not able to give her.
What do you have that that makes it that you say that you can't give someone what they're looking for? Because is it not true that what women would want is honesty, directness? Unless you're saying what she wants is long term, and I don't know if I'm there yet.
So that's part of it. It's I don't know if I have what it takes to take it long term
Okay,
because I don't know if I have what it takes to take myself long term yet. You know, and I live in that because it's a healthy fear, right? And if I can stay in a healthy fear, I'll keep doing the things that I'm doing. But like one thing that I don't have to offer a woman that any woman would want is trust. You know what I mean? Like I've had such a bad history with relationships that my trust factor is completely out the window. Like I don't have it. I don't trust anybody.
are you working on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Um
You want to trust?
yeah, because it's not even just in romantic relationships. It's just in relationships in general. Like I always think that people are out to get me and people are trying to get the best of me and that's not the case, but like that's just how I feel based on like my history in relationships and friendships and stuff like that. Like I've been I've been hurt a lot. You know what I mean? Now I've done a lot of hurting myself, but I've been hurt a lot and like I don't want to feel that anymore. And you know, that's why I kind of like the way that I am, like I don't really like invite new people into my life to like I invite them into a certain extent. Like I don't let them beyond that wall that I have up
Yeah.
because you let somebody beyond that wall, you give them the power to hurt you.
Yeah.
And I don't like to give people that much power.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid that people will abuse that power.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like that's something that I need to work on because I need to realize that not everybody is a bad person and not everybody is out to get me. Like that's just paranoia. And I think a lot of that comes from the drugs. You know what I mean? Like I'm still kicking all of that. And you know, like I'll get there, right? Like I'm not sitting here telling you that like I'm going to be single and alone forever. I might be, but I doubt it. You know what I mean? But I have to get to a point where I can give somebody what they deserve, and a big part of what somebody deserves is my trust, and I don't have that to offer right now, so I won't even give somebody false
It's an
hope.
interesting perspective to share with to give somebody when they're thinking about not trusting again. Is like imagine what somebody's losing out on because you're not trusting. Because
Sure.
if you're trusting, someone is going to get the best parts of you. And don't you feel like the world deserves that? Somebody deserves that, right? Someone that you deem as genuine because of what you've been through. Someone being genuine is like pretty high quality to have, right? Being real and honest. And then you can love them properly. Like you're giving that woman everything that she ever fucking desired because you decided she was worthy because she walks around with these traits. In sales, we do this thing called binary personas. There's two types of people in this world. There's the people that get hurt and then they sit there and just squeeze that fallen knife. They become bitter. They become resentful. They make no change. And it just gets worse and worse and worse, more alone, more alone. And then there's the people that think about who they truly want to be, what they want their life to be, and a lot of times what they would love, which is why they set out to do it in the first place, is a beautiful relationship. And they get back up a little bit more wise and they go at it again. Not like right away, get up, go date. No, it's not like that, but slowly but surely they start to trust again. Why? Because the value that they get out of the relationship is worth the tiptoeing through it, playing through the landmine, and you just kind of fail forward, get a little bit more wise, get up again. Binary personas. Which guy are you right now? Which guy do you want to be? You know, and what happens if you never go for that ideal situation that you always said that you wanted, or always in your dark, you know, when you're home alone thinking you always said you wanted to be? Like, what happens? What does that look like for you? And then they explain. And it's a way to help people say, your perspective's not wrong. Like, having a lack of trust is completely real. But is that the healthiest perspective to have? Is that the one that the best version of you is going to... That's what I would say to you if you weren't open to dating again, to try to get you to say, you know what, man, maybe I do have to trust again.
So I don't know that it's that I'm not open to dating again. I think that because I'm still kind of early on, like I have 7 months sober, right? So I'm still early on. I'm on this thing where it's like take suggestions because the way that I was running my life didn't work. So start to listen to people that know how to run their life a little bit better and take the suggestions that they have. So one of the big suggestions that I was given was, for the first year, like stay out of relationships. You know what I mean? Like learn how to love and trust yourself before you can try to love and trust somebody else. And it's not that I don't love myself, because I do, but there's still a couple more levels that I can get to self-love before I can offer somebody else that kind of love. So I'm trying to take the suggestion of stay out of any kind of relationship for the first year. So I have like 5 months left. That's not to say like as soon as I hit 12 months, like I'm out searching.
That's what people do, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
geez, man, there is really something true about just sitting the hell down.
Yeah.
The same as like if I go home at night and it's quiet, right? Like I'll get to go home tonight and the house will be empty. It'll be just me. And I get to play with the dogs. But then I'll be thinking, that's me. Just I get to sit the hell down for a minute. Sit down for a year. Get your thoughts together. And so I get why they put the 12 months on it. But people like look at everything so literal. It's not about that. It's not about like, here's the exact day. But it's just about gather your thoughts, man. Give some time to help you heal. Because when you go from one thing to the next, no time to reflect, no time to like self-diagnose. You got to go deep down these channels, you know? That's how I feel.
I think that a lot of times, like in my life, like I felt like it was part of an image that I needed to keep up with, where it's like you got to have a girl. You know what I mean? Like you get purpose and fulfillment out of that. Like you have to have a girl, or else you're not you. You know what I mean? Like you're a player. You know what I mean? You got to have a girl at all times. And like
That's funny.
I don't feel like that.
I think everyone took to that shit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They took to it and then didn't actually know how to have a girl. What having a girl does for me, dude, is it makes me realize where I'm weak and where I'm insecure and where I feel not less than, when I feel less than. Whereas a lot of people are like, I have to have one. So we go and get a girl and then just like become just a sick, twisted fucking, because we're going about it the wrong way instead of being like, yo, you know what? I just learned about myself that I have an insecurity issue. I have a jealousy issue. How do I overcome that? How do I communicate with this girl how I feel so that she can kind of help me not feel that way, you know, and like to do things properly.
I have those things. I have a jealousy issue and an insecurity issue where I think that like they'll find somebody better, you know what I mean? And then I'll just kind of be left in the dark. And that's a healthy fear of mine that I have. So like I don't want to have that anymore. So it's like find the security in myself. If I can be content with who I am and myself and think that I'm good enough, then the jealousy part of things will fade away. And it's just a part, like it's getting all of these things right within myself before I offer myself to somebody else. Because what I don't want, the last thing that I want is to rush into another one of those situations where it becomes toxic because I have these flaws of jealousy and insecurity and all of these other things where like I don't have self-love. So I'm seeking this kind of love from somebody else to fulfill my hole of self-love that they can't possibly offer to me. You know what I mean? Like it's impossible to love somebody who doesn't love themselves. So like I think the awareness of all of this stuff is like key, because if I'm aware of it, then I can focus on it and I can work toward not feeling those things anymore. But it takes work. It takes time.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen overnight.
And I also know, I agree with you, I also know that it comes like a wave. Like when you get back in it, you meet somebody tomorrow and you're off to the races with them, all the feelings are flooding in.
Sure.
And like it hits you hard.
Sure.
And so you think you're prepared, you know, until you think you're prepared for the fight until you're in the fight. And so it's really hard. And that's why I think like that reflection period is so critical. People are like, no, man, I'm good. It's like, you're good because there's no waves right now.
Yeah.
Like, just then stay good. Then just chill the fuck out for a year, man. Because when you get back in the fight, like, you have to be really prepared. Because if not, we end up dying. Because jealousy and anger and lust and resentfulness and bitterness and all this stuff, it'll eat us alive. And then guys like us use drugs, and then it's like,
Lust. Lust is such an evil thing. It's such an evil thing that I don't have anymore, and I'm so grateful for that. Like, there's situations where, like, I'll be getting attention from some girl, and my friends will be like, "Yo, what are you doing? Like, I wish I was single." You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And for me, I'm just like not moved by it. Like, it doesn't motivate me.
why?
Because I know that it doesn't really lead anywhere. You know what I mean?
Does it not eat the same lust as, like, or the same feeling as, like, you want to go cop something at the mall that's fucking 6 G's for no? It just gives you a feeling in the moment.
So that's exactly what I related to. I related to all of these vices that I fall victim to in other areas, where it's like I related to, like, falling victim to wanting to go cop coke. You know what I mean? Or, like, wanting to have a drink. Like, those things will kill me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I fall victim to lust, that could potentially kill me, because what'll happen is I'll fall victim to lust and I'll go down that road. And then because I'm not honest enough to relay the message of, like, yo, this is just lust that I'm trying to fulfill here. Like, it's not love that I'm looking for. It gets taken down a road that I didn't want it to get taken down, but I won't opt out and be like, yo, I don't want this. And it'll go to this place, and then eventually it'll land there. And then I'm like, how did I get there? And I'm miserable because I'm in this place that I don't want to be, but I won't back out of it. So then it'll spiral and spiral. And then I'm no longer mentally where I need to be. And then a drink pops up, and I think that that's a good idea. So then I take the drink. The relationship gets ruined because I go from that drink to the coke, to the homelessness, to this, to that. And then before you know it, I'm on the brink of death again.
Yo, remember a couple weeks ago I said, like, our stories are similar in a lot of ways. Like, you
Yeah.
just told, that's my story. We
Yeah.
went through that at the same time. We're two
Yeah.
parallel lines, bro. We're going the same, and we knew it. We were watching each other. We, like, found comfort in talking to one another a little bit about what we had going on and how sick and twisted it was getting.
Yep. But, like, thank God I have that awareness now. You know what I mean? Thank God I can understand what these things can do for me. You know what I mean? What they can do to me. And that's why I don't pursue them, because of the hole that I'm trying to fulfill that it'll never fulfill.
It's crucial. It's critical. That disconnectedness, the incongruency, had me fucking overdosing in my house alone, like, literally dying for real. So, thank God I don't pursue them. Even just having a quick laugh just now about it, I'm not, like, laughing like it's not funny.
Yeah.
It's because that shit was a tornado, and we were dying behind that shit.
Yeah.
There's this thing we have a lot going on here at the office. There's cameras everywhere,
All
media,
over
and the
the
way of the
place.
world is like.
Yeah.
I had to be, like, mentally, character-wise prepared to just have cameras on at all times. But I think we have a cool and interesting life, and I'm game for it. But I think I had a lot of growth that had to happen for me to be at the point where I can do that. But what's strange is there was always this thing about when I started using about camera on, camera off. Like you're saying, be the guy who's, like, true to the girl. Camera on, camera off. Like, what are you doing when no one's watching? What decisions are you making? Are you pursuing stuff with other people, or are you being true? And when I was using, talk about incongruency between who I am and what I'm doing, and it was fucking eating me alive. It's when things aren't congruent for me that the bigger that gap gets, the worse it gets for me. I have to live and be a certain way in all of my affairs. I guess that's why that's where the steps come from.
Yeah.
Right? Camera on, camera off. And when you can just naturally live, and a beautiful life creates itself around you. And now we have cameras on all the time. And it's cool. It took me a long time to get back to a place of congruency where I can actually live freely, comfortably. There's no weight on my shoulders. You know
You know what it is too? You know what's good about it is, like I don't get nervous when the cameras are on because I don't feel like I have to put on this image of being somebody else. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like it's all congruent. Like I am the same person when the camera's on as I am when the camera's off. You know what I mean? I am the same person when everybody's looking that I am when nobody's looking. You know what I mean? And it's all congruent. Like I don't have to put on an act or a show or anything like that to impress anybody because at the end of the day, whether or not you like what I'm doing, it doesn't change the path that I'm on and what I'm gonna do to get there. You know what I mean? And that's a good place to be.
Yeah. Carhartt shirts are dope, right?
Yeah.
Lacoste shirts are cool, right?
Yeah.
So before you said something like, you're like if the girl goes, she's gonna go find somebody better, like the old insecurity, the old like way of thinking that for some reason we know it's distorted. Maybe we don't know how
She's
or
gonna
why.
go find somebody wearing Louis.
Right, but it's just like, is there somebody better or just somebody that's maybe a better fit for her? Like Lacoste is great. That was for me today. Carhartt was great. That was for you today. Is one better than the other? And so it's like if somebody goes and picks fucking Bobby instead of Ed, in my head, so I'm not distorted or twisted or get fucked up about it, it's like, oh, maybe that's just a better fit for her. Sad because I love her, but Carhartt ain't mad, you know, that I picked Lacoste today.
See, but like what I worry about is what that would do is further cement my insecurity and jealousy. You know what I mean? Where like it'll just put me in a hole of insecurity deeper. And that's why I choose not to opt into those kind of situations yet. Not because I'm not mentally stable enough, but because I don't know what it looks like when I'm faced with that situation again yet.
Yeah.
I know what it looks like when I'm faced with that situation in the past and it's never ended well. And I'm a risk. I like to
Risk averse?
Yeah, I like to avert risk at all costs right now, because I don't want to put any of my shit into danger. Because like, you know, I've worked really, really hard to get to where I'm at, and everybody says the same thing, like, yo, you're doing such a great job, like keep doing what you're doing. And what I've been doing is avoiding risk at all costs, you know. So if everybody tells me the same thing to keep doing what I'm doing, then I'm gonna keep avoiding risk for right now. You know what I mean? Now there's healthy risk, but I'm not really that willing to even take a healthy risk right
Give
now.
time,
Yeah.
bro. Why? Would you, if that's how you feel, you're thinking right now as you're going. You're not like, you're like discovering it, you're processing it as you go, and that's how you fil. So yeah, why change it? You know, when there's new chapters, there'll be another chapter where you'll be like a little bit more, this is where I am today. That's why we do the pod. This is where I am, and we kind of realize our own shit as we talk.
Yeah.
My dad told me that you find someone that loves you even more, like, you know, loves you more than you love yourself type of thing. How do you show someone you love them? Anything that I know I can do, man, to make your life better. To just, hey, man, add something nice to your day. Man, tell you I love you, or, you know, whatever it might be. That's how you show you care about somebody. I guess everyone has their love language type of thing. The way that if somebody doesn't love you the right way, like you have a love yourself problem. Like, how about this? What's great about you? Because like you love yourself, you take care of yourself every day. You take care of your mind. You take care of every part of you. Why? Because you're like, I fucking matter, and like that's the right place to be. Well, what are the great things about you? I feel like this is the stuff that I would do if I got in a relationship and it went bad. I'd be like, they don't even fucking, this person doesn't even realize. You know what you've went through? You know what, if I'm you know what I fucking have gone through? The character, the strength of character I have, what I'm displaying on a daily basis, what I'm choosing to feed, and go, get the fuck out of here. Go wherever's better for you. And also, as a good person, I pray for you. Because I want the best for you, whatever that is. But it's not here with me. So the second you kind of turn your back on me, I'm not bitter, I'm not resentful, but you're not for me either. So I'm happy. I want the best for you over there, and I want the best for me over here. Because I'm always trying to find, like, what's the right perspective, you know? I don't want you to end up in a situation, because I care about you, where you're like, you start to feel that shit again. So what's great about you, bro?
I'm resilient.
Resilient.
Yeah.
I was talking to that tree the other day. The tree said the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah, I'm resilient. Like I'll make mistakes and like I'll get knocked down, but like I don't stay down. Like I get back up and I fight and I go at it again. You know what I mean? Until I can get it right. I'm smart, very intelligent. I'm a quick learner. And I don't just mean like book smart. I mean like people smart. Like I understand people. I can get to know somebody and understand who they are. That way I can interact with them in the best way possible. And that's why I think I'm good for doing what I'm doing now, like with sober houses and stuff like that, like dealing with individual people. Um, I'm very caring. I'm very compassionate. Um, like I care about people. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to hurt anybody. I'm very understanding. I can level with you. Um, and there's not really much that somebody goes through that I can't relate to and understand. And that sometimes that's all somebody needs when they're going through something is somebody that can relate to what they're going through and just give them a piece of advice and make them feel like they're not alone.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I know that for me, like that a lot of times that's what I needed. Like when I was going through some of my worst stuff, like I just needed somebody out there to tell me that they understood what I was feeling and that I wasn't alone. You know what I mean? And that would get me through going through some of this stuff. The problem was is that I was so closed off and so out of reality that I wouldn't allow people to tell me that they knew what I was going through and that they can relate and that I'm not alone.
Yeah, well, they'll tell you, but it's not getting in there. You
No.
you hear them, but you're not open. You're not open to receive.
No, because it
really.
was like, nah, you really like you have no idea. Like you don't actually know what I'm going through. Like you've
Right.
never felt this before.
Right.
And that's delusion.
It's a different response you get from people when they're actually open versus when they're not. When they're not, like you still hear them, and you're like, yeah, no, you're right. Like I get it. But you're not open. The conversation goes different when you're open.
Yeah.
Hey, you are all those things, bro. If
Yeah.
somebody gave you that list about somebody and said, hey, this guy over here, his name's Steve. Does he deserve nice things? But yeah, what are you fucking kidding me? I'd be like, why? Why does that guy deserve nice things? Compared to the other people you've met in your 30-some years.
Because I believe that like good people deserve good things. You know what I mean? Like you get what you give. You know what I mean in life, and I believe in karma. And like when you're just an all around good person, like you deserve to receive good things. And I don't just mean materialistic, but like you deserve to have a good relationship. You deserve to have good friends. You deserve to have good relationships with your family, a good job, good feelings about yourself. You know, like what sucks is that like there's so many good people in this world that like get fucked over so many times that they then become jaded, right? And they become cold and they become heartless. And then you classify them as bad people, but they're not bad people. They're really good people that have just been fucked over and jaded by the world, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So shame on you for looking at them like that. Shame on the people that fuck these good people over and turn them heartless. I guess the goal is like to just be you no matter what. And it's very hard because like, yo, you smack a dog one too many times and like that dog starts to become aggressive. You know what I mean? Where like it wasn't always aggressive, but like it was abused. You know what I'm saying? So then all you see is this aggressive fucking sick dog that you think needs to be put down, and you don't look at the fact that like no, at one point like that was a puppy. That was a loving, understanding and just a puppy that wanted love, and it got beat and battered and bruised.
Yeah.
And it turned it into this aggressive dog that you think now needs to be put down.
Yeah.
That dog doesn't need to be put down. That dog needs to be loved and shown the right way to live.
Yeah.
You give that dog everything that it needs, and I guarantee you it never bites somebody ever again.
Yeah, hopefully it can come back from that because they get so fucking...
That's hard.
The problem with humans is they think that aggression, like dogs don't think it looks cool. Humans do. They think that's a dog after being abused for so many years or so many times. That dog ends up like that. Same thing with humans. But humans start to wear that like a badge of honor. They think it's cool to be aggressive and like vicious, cold-hearted, numb, and they wield that shit. And it's like,
Well, there's also people that like not necessarily think it looks cool, but they think that it instills fear in other people. So if I instill fear in you, you'll stay away from me. If you stay away from me, then it doesn't give you the opportunity to hurt me. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to avoid feeling the things that I've felt in the past from letting people in. You know what I mean? So if I act in violence and aggression and anger, it'll keep you at an arm's distance. So then you never get the opportunity to make me feel like that ever again.
Yeah, so it's like the ultimate defense mechanism.
Exactly. I've used it.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? And it works.
Yeah. I can, my voice can go loud, and so if you put me in a spot and I'm not ready to have the conversation, if I raise my voice real loud, I just overpower you, then it'll just kind of like dissipate, and I'm like, fuck.
Yep.
Fuck.
Yeah.
My temperature went up again. It's outside of my comfort zone, and I went and did that thing. I fucking hate that shit.
Yeah.
It'll fucking piss me off.
One thing that
Makes
I
me feel like a jerk off.
One thing that I really pride myself on now is not getting like that. Because I fell victim to that my whole entire life. Like, I would yell in the snap of a finger, bro. Like, any little thing that you did would get me to yell. Scream, throw things, punch things. You know what I mean? I've been like that my whole entire life.
Yep.
So for me to not act like that anymore is a fucking miracle. And it's something that I really pride myself on.
What are you gonna do when you got 40 guys living in your houses and you have to have these crucial conversations and like you spread a little thin because you're tired
Yeah.
now?
No, so a lot of it is just like stay in the moment. You know what I mean? Like take it one moment at a time, one conversation at a time. Like I could get overwhelmed thinking like, yo, I gotta have 40 fucking conversations today with all these different personalities, and I'll run myself right out of the game. But if I just take it one conversation at a time and I'm locked into that one conversation, I can give that conversation 100% of me, and 10 times out of 10, that conversation will go exactly where it needs to go. You know what I mean? And then it's like, all right, check, that's 1. Now it's on to 2.
Yeah.
Now it's on to 3. Now it's on to 40. And then when I accomplish all 40 things in a day, I get to sit down at night and like I earned all that wreck that I get at the end of the night. You
And
know
the
what I
world
mean?
the world molds around you based on how you choose to treat people. If you
Sure.
treat people ugly and gross, you fuck people over, like live by the gun, die by the gun.
Yep.
You do people dirty, the world's gonna do you dirty, it's gonna come back to you. But you treat people kindly, you're like, damn, I kinda like sacrificed a lot today. A lot of patience, consideration for other people. Good qualities to have, I did, but it's not just about feeling good about how you chose to be, but the world does start to shape around you that way. There's people that I'm sure are very mean to others, but they're very nice and they're kind to me because I'm kind to them. There's no reason for it to be otherwise. So you start to get further away from the old, and you mold the world around you. Jordan Peterson said that if you like something that your partner does, tell them, because they love you. They'll bring you more and more and more of it. You know?
Yeah.
It's hard, 40 guys and crucial conversations, because there's little things that tick us off, just like you were talking about with stuff in the sink, you know? This morning I got turned up because my daughter's forgotten to do her dog tips videos for a couple days, bro. And I know I have friends that are my age that they'll start stuff and they don't finish. That just becomes their nature, because no one ever course corrected them or went up in arms or just really dug into that whole idea of, if you start something, you have to finish it just because you said you were going to do it. You have to. You have to. Because then when the novelty wears off on anything, you're going to give up on it. If we didn't spend 4 or 5 years together, what kind of specialty skill set would you have had? Right? Or I'm sure, whatever you had, but when we got together, because we spent so much time on it, even when the days we didn't want to, did it help that skill set evolve?
Sure.
And so I'm like, fuck. I have friends that are 40 that will do something for a few months and then stop. And now at 40, that's how they've done things their whole life. They don't have any skills. And so that's how I'm thinking about it. I said that to Jess. And she's like, that's a little exaggerated, you know? But I'm like, I know. I mean, in an exaggerated circumstance, because I made a comparison to a friend I have from way back when. And I'm like, I know, but in an exaggerated circumstance, that's what happens, you know? And you know what? When I asked my daughter about it, you know what her answer was? It was that there was a couple videos that were done here during the week that she was here that she didn't get back yet. And I'm like, so now what you're saying is XYZ person controls your outcomes. So I start things, I start missions, and then I'm met with disappointment because I want something done. I can't place the blame and say it's his fault, because that means that he controls my outcomes. You know, I have to make sure that I stayed a course no matter what. Were you using it as an excuse? No, I wasn't using it as an excuse, Daddy. So maybe she has a sorting thing. I need this to be done so I can carry on. I feel like I have these loose ends over here, these videos that weren't edited and done yet before I can make new ones. Maybe. Were you lying to you? Were you using that as an excuse? I hope it's not that. If you have the sorting issue, I understand. I understand both. So I'm trying to have an honest conversation. But what I'm always thinking about is, how do I have this discussion? Because I don't want to just berate my kid. No, you know what your problem is this and that. Unless my temperature will go up. And I'm coming from a great place, but it's all about how I approach it. A lot of times I'll find myself not feeling adequate in how I approach these things. That's just, I'm the only one judging my own, the way I went about it. Have you ever, like, you get yourself involved in things and you're like we just said, when we let our temperature go up and we flip, we hate it, right? What's something that you will fail at and be like, fuck, man, I did that again? Where, like, to anyone else looking in, not a big deal, but to you, it means everything.
It would be that. It would be that exact thing. Like when my temperature gets turned up and I react in a way that I don't want to react. And it's like, fuck, man. You know what I mean? Like a month ago when I threw a pen at Ant because he got me turned up. You know what I mean? Like I regretted that immediately. You know what I mean? Or a couple of weeks ago when I was treating somebody, maybe not treating them wrong, but I was just like kind of closed off to them and they didn't deserve that. I immediately regretted that. Like, fuck, man, that's not how I want to be. I don't want to act like that. But to kind of touch on what you were talking about, and I think that this is hard, almost not realistic for an 8-year-old to do, but for a 32-year-old like myself to be able to do it, this is how I kind of this is how I handle that situation. So my outcome revolves around Ryan being able to get my stuff out, right? So in order for him to make sure that I'm getting what I need done the way that I want it done, I have to sit down and communicate to him how I want it done and what I want done. You know what I'm saying? So then what happens is he knows what I expect out of him because I communicated it to him. So he's able to deliver on that. If he doesn't deliver on that, I have to be the one that comes to him and has a conversation like, yo, what's going on? Like we missed the deadline. We missed the drop date. We got to do this. We got to do that. Like, yo, you got to get this video out, you know? And there's times where that has to happen, but I don't get my temperature turned up about it. You know what I mean? I sit down and I have a conversation with him and he'll give me the reason or tell me why that happened and we'll fix it. We'll tweak it. We'll figure it out. Because at the end of the day, Ryan's a human being too. So like Ryan is prone to make mistakes, just like I'm prone to make mistakes, just like you are. We're programmed to make mistakes. But what I'll do a lot of times, what I've always done, is he'll make a mistake that he won't even know was a mistake because I won't communicate that it was a mistake. You know what I mean? So like I'm expecting him to do something that he doesn't even know is expected of him, and I'll get fucking mad about it, and then I'll blow up on him for something that he didn't even know was expected of him.
It's one of my worst traits, bro.
Yeah.
100%. Passive aggressive.
Yeah, that's hard.
Expectations the other person doesn't even know exist. With me in toxic relationships, me being toxic in a relationship is doing that.
Yeah.
An expectation that you don't even know I have because I'm too much, I'm not evolved enough to communicate properly with you, and then I'm fucking lashing out at something that you don't even know exists or what I want. Tell me what you want, and I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like a sucker, man.
Yeah.
I don't like feeling like that. So I fucking grow. And thank God that I'm able to see some of this stuff. Yeah.
But in order for my content to get out, like Ryan has to do his job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can't edit it and get it out myself. Like that's just not what I could do. Like I'm not capable of doing it, right? That's his job. So like my content getting out revolves around Ryan. But Ryan has to know what I want in order to get it out. So we sit down and we have conversations. And Ryan and I work really, really well together because we sit down and we have those conversations. He knows what I expect and he delivers on that. You know what I mean? And our stuff gets out there, and I'm happy about it. Now, when a deadline is missed, right, miss another deadline, and we're gonna have a fucking problem. You know what I mean? When a deadline is missed, I'll get my temperature will turn up for a second, but real quickly, like I'll come back down,
Yeah.
and like it won't ever be like I won't ever blow up on him. You know what I mean? Like I'll have a moment where I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like my video didn't get out. Like this shit has to stop happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when he comes in, I'll sit down and I'll have a conversation with him like, yo,
Yeah.
what happened? You missed the deadline.
I equate the moment where the temperature goes up to like the moments that I decide to go and use.
Yeah.
Like, why did I just do that? Sometimes it's overwhelming, and you'll act on it, so your temperature go up, and then you'll take it overboard. We just don't do that anymore, because we'll want to use. We just don't do that anymore. But we used to want to use, and then we take it overboard.
Sure.
It's just all about that austerity, that toughness.
Because there's no saying that I'm not supposed to get angry. Like that's not realistic. I'm gonna get angry, but I don't have to react with anger.
Yeah.
I can react with a crucial conversation. Like, let's sit down and figure this out.
Yeah.
Why did this happen?
Yeah. When you do this, it makes me feel this way. I don't know if you
What
intended
can we
it that
do
way.
to avoid this happening again?
And here's what I need. Yeah,
Yes.
man.
Yeah.
This was a good conversation.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
feel good.
Me too.
Good episode, bro.
Yep.
All right. Love you, man.
Love you.
Life on EJ.